All right. So here's the basic thing that you need to understand with this. I started to go through basically the history of when the Social Security Administration was able to partner with different groups. Here's Michigan, 2014. And then it just goes on and on and on. 3 new disability investigation units established, right? And they go through more places, 2018. Cooperative Disability Investigation Program expands reach to anti-fraud efforts, and they continue to explore and increase locations, 2020. To the point now where they pretty much have them everywhere except for a couple of spots. If we look at the map, it looks like Alaska doesn't have one. They probably just have a small thing there. Looks like over here, Maine doesn't have one, and Vermont doesn't have one. Although I'm pretty sure the New Hampshire one is just kind of sharing with those. Can't tell if Connecticut has one or not. It doesn't look like it does have one, but it's probably just, those states are small, so just kind of bundling together. Now, with that said, the question became, where realistically would the SSA have secret police for those who want to move out of the country and actually go and receive their benefits somewhere else and, like many of them do, live a new life somewhere else where they're getting a check every month. A lot of them get side jobs that are off the table, those kinds of things. Well, here are the places that they most likely, because we don't know. They don't publish that data. Here are the places that they most likely go ahead and have additional investigators that pretty much go ahead and, can research somebody, show up, watch them, take video footage, audio footage, make ROI reports. So how did I collect the data? Well, I knew that they were going to go ahead and put an investigator where they would get the most bang for the buck. Where are you going to get the most bang for the buck to have an investigator to potentially remove benefits from disabled, retired individuals? Well, you're going to go ahead and put an investigator in the place where there's the most expats, expatriates, that. So basically, it's individuals who are U.S. citizens who are living outside of the country. A lot of them are VA people. A lot of them are retired people. These are the top 10 places. We'll do this. We'll do the top 5. We won't make it that long. We'll do 10. We'll do 10. Here, let me count down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here are the top 10 places that they likely have somebody who is stationed there to review people. Okay. Very likely. Let's go through it real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Number 10, that they likely have a secret investigator there to watch you with your benefits. Okay, whether through OIG and the VA or OIG at the SSA. Japan. Number 9, France. Number 8, South Korea. Number 7, Israel. Number 6, Australia. Number 5, Germany. Okay, number 4, Puerto Rico. Number 3, the United Kingdom. Number 2, Canada. They got one there. And number 1, the biggie, the place that has more than double any place else when it comes to expats, Mexico. They have somebody going around following people in Mexico. Now, how did I figure this out? It's because there's the most people who are basically U.S. citizens living somewhere else, who are very likely to be receiving benefits. Now, spoiler alert, I think, to be fair, the Philippines, Thailand, so many veterans there. So many veterans. The guys, male veterans, lots of them end up there. Okay. If I had a call, one of them was ironically in a video. So they make these videos about people walking down the streets of some of these places, these East Asian sea island sort of places. And he called me and said, I want to buy an hour. And I said, okay, well, what do you want to talk about? And he said, well, there was an issue. And I was like, well, what's the issue? He said, I was caught on a video of, YouTubers and Facebookers and stuff like that, where they were walking down the street. Okay. And I was with my wife, a very pretty little thing. And they got his face on the camera. And he wanted to know what he could do about it. And he wanted to know how this would be affected and whether or not they could search his face and all those sorts of things. So, it's an interesting situation, because then what first should come to your mind is, what are his impairments? Because, walking down the street is not a crime for a disabled person. But if he's always claiming that he, can't walk or be around other people, or needs a wheelchair, or, has, this really bad issue where he, has a difficult time walking, and there's some sort of limitation with his movement, and the video shows him smoothly strolling, then that's a problem. So just to be fair, I can always imagine that being a thing. Now, with that said, just as a side note, they're getting better with technology and investigating people. If you're a disabled person claiming that you have mental impairments or physical impairments or whatever, back in the day, they only had the technology of photos, right? People could only get access to photo technology. Like, nobody owned actual camcorders that were like full HD. You go far enough back, nobody had video. Like, it was only professionals had videos. That was the only thing. Now you can get 8K footage on some of these new phones. 8K footage, which is just insanity. I mean, it's amazing. Like, you can just zoom in over and over and over and over and over again. So the thing is this: the company that basically got hacked, that lost your social security numbers basically a year ago, unfortunately, that was the group that scans photos to link them to faces in their profile. So if they see you and they have the computer program do the measurements of your face, scan the photo, figure out it's you, that then gets added to your profile. And your profile then basically has images of where you've been, what you're doing, etc. And it could come from anything. It could come from a highway camera. It could come from a YouTuber video. It could come from whatever. It can come from anywhere. And then that gives them the where you're at, what's going on, what you're doing, etc. Now, remember, that was the photo world. Now their system does it with videos. Full assessment of body shape, full assessment of body movement, full assessment of time of day, location, all that stuff. Was it bright outside? Was it dark outside? Are there certain types of reflections in the image, etc.? So the bottom line is, that's what you're now dealing with in order to go ahead and protect the sanctity of your benefits. Companies that will analyze images and videos from anywhere in the world. There is a high likelihood that people will be wearing clothing or active repeaters in the future that blur out basically their image to cameras that are trying to take a photo or video of you. That I foresee being some sort of category of products that people will be buying into the future. Some sort of active repeater that just basically blurs, or basically, goes ahead and creates some sort of flicker or darkened out area on any video camera for where you are in the photo, where you are in the video. Now, with that said, these places are not any shock. Mexico, Canada, United Kingdom, Puerto Rico, Germany, Australia, Israel, South Korea, France, Japan, Spain, Italy, Bangladesh, Peru, Switzerland, Philippines, New Zealand, Netherlands, Ireland, India, Ecuador. Goes on and on. If you're wondering the places that they're least likely to have investigators, that would be Tuvalu, Niue, Falkland Islands, Solomon Islands, Cook Islands, Greenland, Kiribati, Faroe Islands, Maldives, Mauritius, Timor-Leste. Again, I don't go to any of these islands because I am, what are those called? Poor attorneys compared to personal injury attorneys. So if I say Mauritius or Mauritius, I don't even know, whatever. Timor-Leste, Miquelon, St. Pierre, and Miquelon, I assume that's an island. Belarus, Georgia, Andorra, Mauritania, Montserrat, Bhutan, Liechtenstein, Sierra Leone, Lesotho, Brunei, Cuba, Togo, Cambodia, Guinea-Bissau, Isle of Man. I know that one. So bottom line is, they're not going to have in these locations, basically expats. They're just not going to have them. So they're not going to send an investigator over there. So if you wanted to fall off the face of the map, go to the Falkland Islands, or the Solomon Islands, or the Cook Islands. Basically islands, except Philippines, Taiwan. Watch out for those. There's a lot of veterans who are having a very good time over there. There's a lot of veterans. All right. So bottom line is this: that's what you need to know about those locations, that they likely have secret police that are going to review you and potentially investigate you. And you have to remember something too: you have to be worth it for an investigation. If they think that there's maybe a little bit, maybe you've improved, maybe you're not that bad, stuff like that, They're not sending somebody over to some island to go ahead and investigate you. It's not financially worth it. It's just, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Because remember, some of these places, they don't have a good relationship with that country. They don't have proper jurisdiction. They can be there to collect information. They can James Bond it against you. But, it's not like Great Britain where they can do whatever the heck they want for the most part. It's not like Mexico where they can go down there, and free reign and do what they need to do. Not that they have full free reign, but you know what I mean. So now specifically the locations that are most likely to have secret police potentially investigate you going forward. So just be aware, be very careful with that, and protect yourself because you don't want to lose your benefits. Pi, good to see you. Good to see you. That's awesome. I have to catch up with you. I checked the program and I didn't see you on there, but reach out when you can. That's awesome. Thank you for the $5 donation. That's amazing. Put a little heart on there. That's cool. Very, very cool. So basically, and Pi, when you get a chance, definitely catch up. Bottom line is, everybody, it's going to be a huge thing in the future with people moving out of the country. It's going to be a huge thing. I think the only thing that really tethers most people to America at this point is they like the law, right? When the cops show up, the cops speak their language, or the cops don't show preference to some other individual because they're a local. I think the other thing is family. You know what I mean? A lot of people are tied here because of family. But I will tell you this. As things get more lawless in this country, and I'm not saying why, but we all know which direction that's all going. I can foresee a lot of people that are going to start to move out of this country, sell properties, and use the money from those sold properties. Because think about it, all these homes, they've massively gone up in value. So if you have one and you sell it, you got this chunk of money. You're going to pay a chunk of that to, of course, the federal government. Harris wants to increase that tax, of course. But the bottom line is, and I think it's important, is that a lot of Americans are going to cash out of America and go to a cheaper place to live, because the dream of America, of basically working hard your whole life and then retiring and having your golden years, it doesn't exist anymore. Not unless you were like a CEO executive, in some big corporation. So it's tough. It's really tough. Phil B, I really hope you're correct. Phil B said America will come around again. It definitely has all the, ingredients for that recipe to become this amazing thing again. I think in order to do that, we're probably going to have to go through World War III. But again, it definitely has what it needs to become the great thing that it was after World War II. I will catch you all a little bit later. Please remember to like and subscribe. I will be going live shortly in about 10 minutes to answer questions. You know how it works. You call the phone, I answer it, and then basically we go through essentially any question you ask me and give an answer. Now, with that said, please remember to head to Disability Resolution and leave some stars up there on Google. So Google Disability Resolution Florida, Disability Resolution Law Firm. If you want to catch up with me and do a full hour where we do a private session, mini contract below, I will catch you at the next video in about 10 minutes, and we will go from there. And I will see you all soon for some very spicy questions that come completely out of nowhere. All right, I'll see you soon, and we'll go from there. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.